friends, welcome to the Point. Let's continue our discussion on India and Bangladesh relation. So this is a final part regarding India and Bangladesh relation. So in this part we'll be discussing about the security issues which is caused by illegal migrants, immigrants, drugs and human trafficking, smuggling and fake currency racket, anti-terrorism or anti-insurgency cooperation and so on. So talking about the security issues, in that first let's discuss about illegal immigration. So the riddle of illegal immigration, it has a pre-independence history. However, even after the liberation of Bangladesh, there has been some constant influx of immigrants, primarily due to the lack of economic opportunities and poor people to land ratio. So for that, the Assam and West Bengal, it remained the worst affected, and Tripura has also even witnessed demographic inversion where the tribals are now a minority. So as per the various estimates, there are close to nearly 30 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, with most of them concentrated in Assam. So this has led to dispossession of tribals, which has led to decrease of the wages of unskilled laborers and shrinking of livelihood opportunities for the indigenous people, those leading to a stubborn insurgency. So as per various estimates, there are close to nearly 30 million illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, with most of them those who are concentrated in Assam, I said. So as a majority of immigrants, they are Muslims, and the whole issue, it has gained a communal overtone and the political currency. So suppose a breakthrough was achieved in the year 1985 when Assam Accord that was signed by Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi with all Assam Students Union and all Assam Ganga Sangram Parishad on August 15, 1985. But it laid on a complex formula that has been near impossible to implement in the 3 decades since. So the reality is that between 1985 and 2012, according to an Assam government white paper, only 2,442 illegal immigrants from Bangladesh has been expelled from the state. So a definitive answer on the number of illegal immigrants in Assam, it will be produced by the National Register of Citizens, and this is only the second time in the past 65 years that the citizens mechanism and ambivalence on the accepted legacy data threatens the misuse of the exercise to disenfranchise genuine citizens. So as I said, a definitive answer on the number of illegal immigrants in Assam, it will be produced by National Register of Citizens. And more recently, the Supreme Court is now directly monitoring for the first time in India's history that the enumeration of citizens is in one part of India, although the actual work, it is done by Registrar General of India using the resources of Assam government. So meanwhile, government has taken a number of steps to check illegal migration. The gaps between the border outposts, it have been reduced, and patrolling along the international border, it has been intensified. So at the same time, the construction of border roads and fencing has been accelerated and the surveillance equipment provided. So the conclusion of land boundary agreement with Bangladesh, it has provided the required impetus to implement the Supreme Court's order which pertains to border fencing. So however, despite this, the Supreme Court's tough stance of the issue, it cannot be solved easily, as it is rooted in grave socio-economic and political reasons that keep it alive. And the illegal migration can be checked only by addressing the root cause. It is important for Bangladeshi economy to grow at a rate that will reduce the incentives for Bangladeshis to migrate to India. Thus, India should step up its efforts to support Bangladesh's development in order to ease demographic pressure. And the rising Indo-Bangladesh Economic Corporation, it is a belated step in this direction. And the work permit system, It allows Bangladeshis and others to legally work in India and travel back to their homeland, and it is a good idea to explore. So talking about the drugs and human trafficking, Bangladesh, it is increasingly being used as a transit point by drug dealers and the drug mafia, which dispatches heroin and opium from Burma and other countries of the Golden Triangle to different destinations. So the drug syndicate works in close collaboration with the gun runners from the Southeast Asia, and the proceeds from the drug trade, it is used to finance insurgency and terrorism in India's northeast and beyond. So both the countries are working in close collaboration to check the misuse of their territories for drugs and human trafficking, and a memorandum of understanding, it is on prevention of human trafficking, it was also signed between India and Bangladesh in this regard. Smuggling and fake currency racket. So the porous Indo-Bangladesh border, it has long been exploited for illegal cattle trade and smuggling for contraband substances. So the cattle trade is in turn used to fund terrorist activities in India. So a Pakistani spy agency called ISI, it uses the Bangladesh route to pump fake currency into the Indian economy with the intention of weakening the economic fundamentals and for funding terrorist activities. So for this, the bilateral cooperation on this front, it has witnessed a significant improvement from the year 2008 itself. And before a few years, during the Prime Minister visit to Bangladesh regarding a memorandum of understanding on prevention of smuggling and circulation fake currency notes, it was signed to further build upon the achievement on the past. And India and Bangladesh, they are actively sharing intelligence inputs to help check the flow of fake currency notes. So anti-terrorism or anti-insurgency cooperation. Bangladesh, it has been used by anti-India insurgent groups and Pakistan ISI to foment the trouble across the country. But however, the return of Awami League government, it saw a crackdown on anti-India elements. So Bangladesh is itself facing an existential threat from the radical and fundamental outfits like Jamaat-e-Islami, which has a strident anti-India posture. So the ongoing war crimes trials are seen as a litmus test for the ruling dispensation in its fight to secure Bangladesh's secular social outwork. So the Jamaat has a pro-Pakistan stance, and Pakistan has been trying to undermine the efforts of Hasina government by propping up fundamentalist French groups. Thus, therefore, the India and Bangladesh, they are faced with a common enemy with necessities closer to cooperation. Next is a Shabbas Choir show of a strength by civil society. It has further bolstered government's efforts to check the growth of fundamentalism, so which is in line with India's vision of peaceful and prosperous Bangladesh. So Bangladesh, it has openly expressed its solidarity with India in urging Pakistan to act on terrorism emanating from its soil. And also in a bid to isolate Pakistan, both the countries have been interacting in forums like ASEAN and BIMSTEC. But a lot more needs to be done to strengthen this partnership. However, the political parties in Bangladesh, including the relatively secular Awami League, they had headed by Hasina government, and they have recently indulged in appearing the moderate Islamists like Hafazat in domains like the education curricula. So this should be discouraged to protect secular credentials of Bangladeshi polity. So these are some security issues between India and Pakistan. So this is all about India-Bangladeshi relationship. In the next session, let's discuss about India-Bhutan relationships. Thank you.